Whether you proclaim to be a Christian or not, the world you and I live in today is constantly putting pressure on us. It constantly is trying to mold us into something it thinks we should be, by social media, by advertising, or by material things. So what are we supposed to do in the midst of this wickedness? How are we supposed to be the salt and the light of the world? To be immature is to live by our circumstances, but to be mature in Christ is putting our hope in God's promises. To be mature in Christ is not putting our hope in this nation or in the White House, because it is not our home. This is simply just a rest stop. But there is better news, so do not become attached to this world, because it is all temporary. And yes, I guarantee that this way of living is going to cost you, and you're not going to get your money back on this one, because money is temporary too. So do you know the story of Daniel and how the king wanted to change all of his ways of living? He wanted to change his appetite, his worldview, his language, and even his identity. Well, the devil is trying to do the same thing to us today. He wants us to talk the way the whole world talks, like cursing or putting God's name in vain. He wants us to become so comfortable in the world that we start desiring the same appetite as the world. And can you believe that if 10 years ago you believed in biblical marriage, you would have been in the majority, but now today you're in the minority? The devil wants us to be just like everybody else. And the tricky part is, this lifestyle doesn't happen overnight. It is a subtle shift. Have you ever been swimming in the ocean for quite some time and then turn around to the shore to see that your stuff is not where you thought it was? At first thought you almost think someone has moved your stuff, but then come to realize it was you that was moving with the current of the ocean. Well, the devil and the world works in the exact same way. Before you know what's happening, the world can change your lifestyle, and that is the devil's way of tricking you into living for this world. Daniel in the Bible resolved from the king's wishes and the world's expectations, and for this God blessed him with wisdom and knowledge. So I am here to tell you the good news that if you become the salt and the light in the world, and if you let God use you to demonstrate the gospel, He will bless this also, because as the world gets darker, the gospel becomes brighter. So my question to you is, who is your rock? If your house is built upon the sand, and the trials and temptations come and the storm rises, it will fall with a great crash. But if your house is built upon the rock, when the trials and temptations come and the storm rises, your foundation will stand because it was built upon the rock.